Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you. I don't think that is a good thing. As someone that's not a person in your situation, it's very difficult for me to comment about and what you face because I certainly couldn't possibly. I've never had any that happen to me due to religion or my sex and stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not maybe the best person to comment on it. But what I will tell you, I have written a book about diversity inside of law firms and some of the challenges that people from diverse backgrounds have faced. And it's on the website of BCG. So it might be helpful for you might enjoy reviewing it because I spent several months writing about this. And again, I can't identify as a white male anywhere near with the things that you've gone through. And I'm sorry, but I would be nice if I had experienced some things, but I have experienced some of the things you're mentioning. A lot of times when I would say hi to partners or good morning or smile at people when I was young and they wouldn't acknowledge me, I would often take it personally. And many times they're just not paying attention it's just how it works. It depends on where you're at, but if you're in a big city, a lot of times people are very impersonal. I wouldn't take it personally. You may, but the other thing I would say is because you're a temporary attorney, not a full-time associate and so forth, sometimes there is some discrimination against people that aren't in permanent roles as opposed to contract roles, regardless of their background. And so I would also say that, and I don't know that a law firm would blackball you in your career for that. But if you didn't report any of this, I can't tell you whether or not that was the right or wrong thing to do because I wasn't there and I'm not in your position. But one thing I would say that it may be helpful is there is a lot of law firms to hire people from different backgrounds, whether it's someone that, whatever the race or your religious affiliations. There is a lot of pressure because the law firms want to reflect what's going on in society. Hollywood, for example, has done very well with that. If you watch television shows, you'll notice that they've started putting anytime in most shows, there's a lot of diversity now, and then we'll start automatically putting a lot of times people that are diverse into authority roles. So if you choose a judge or who the boss is, or in most shows, they'll always try to have a lot of diversity there and actually lean on the side of diversity because they want to promote that message that people in power are of diverse backgrounds. And so I do think society is changing and working very hard at that. And I think that I don't want to underscore what you're saying, but I think that I think that the tide is definitely turning in favor, or not in favor, but towards making that sort of thing more favorable. So I think, but what I would say is I certainly, when I was practicing law, experienced a lot of slights like you're talking about. And I think everyone does. I think that I've seen things that were completely inappropriate, and I think everyone has. And so you just have to understand that not every environment's perfect. And in most cases, I think if you are having a hard time and really bad things are done, then you need to consider ways to hopefully address them at the employer you're with. Again, I apologize it happened to you. And again, this is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, and I can certainly understand why. And there is prejudice in all levels of society, but there's also, I think there's a pretty concerted effort to try to fix a lot of that. But I'm not an expert in this, and I'm certainly not someone that shouldn't be commenting on the challenges that a Muslim woman faces because I'm not of that background, and it would be almost paternalistic and narcissistic of me to do. I hope that advice I gave helps. I would just say that the most important thing is to do your best, and hopefully this stuff won't keep happening. And I do think that there's a lot of positive changes that have been made.